Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. And so I have an extension of a video that I want to discuss with you all today. And there was a video that I did. If you haven't checked it out, you got to go take a look at it on the page. It's If there's no plan, step aside. And in that video, I basically talked about dating without direction leads nowhere. Masculine leadership is absolutely necessary in the relationships that we have today, and that requires clarity, honesty, and courage to decide. And if there is no plan for the future, it's better to step aside than waste time being uncomfortable without commitment. And so, rather than more of an accusatory type of relationship channel, I like to be able to bring topics to you that are valuable, topics that are insightful, and topics that have a solution base to it, based off different circumstances that may be around. So, as we go over this today, definitely feel free. Definitely hit the comments up below. Subscribe to the channel. Definitely smash the like button, of course, and all of the above. So, as we get into this, I want to have much more of a deeper conversation with you all. And what I want to be able to look at is that when we're looking at this whole thing, if there's no plan, yes, you should absolutely step aside, but it involves into a deeper thought process, a more mature process for those of you who are looking for a relationship out there. And here's what the real plan looks like and how to recognize it early on. And I want to be able to give you just some insight that you can get together a relationship blueprint, a relationship plan that is a blueprint that is going to help you get with the person that you are supposed to be with. Now, you can look at it from a masculine perspective, you can look at it from a feminine perspective. We definitely have to look at the accountability aspect of this. So, what I mean by that, when we're looking at this from a strategic approach, it's not just the accusatory type of videos that we're seeing online. There are so many accusatory videos out here that is about bashing women, bashing men, both sides going at each other. And I can so easily go down one particular avenue with this if I really wanted to. We can definitely get down 100% and keep it 100 for sure. But at some point, we have to be mature enough to be able to provide some insightful strategic planning in our relationships because we strategically plan for things that we really, really want. For example, if you want that nice car that you've been looking for, you're looking for that particular type of outfit that you're shopping for in the store, you want to be able to basically go get that as you see fit. And your decision is already made because hopefully you've done your research. But let me give you something real. If you're serious about relationships, you need a plan. You absolutely have to have a plan in the world that we live in right now because it's not like what it used to be. So many people go out here on a limb, one night stands, and they jump over the edge and they have absolutely no type of plan, not a perfect plan at all. It doesn't have to be extremely perfect, but it definitely has to have the clear direction behind it, depending on how you're going into this relationship aspect here. So, before you can get with somebody, you definitely got to start internally with self. You have to understand who you are. You have to understand what your likes, what your dislikes are. And this is where most people fail at because they don't even know themselves and they're trying to straighten someone or mold somebody else to be something that they're absolutely not. And this isn't a build a bear situation, ladies. You're not going out here trying to reshape a man. You're not going out here trying to change the way that he's going about things. That is not what this is about. What this is about is a teachable moment that you have to ask yourself, what are you building as an individual? What type of things have you accomplished? You know, we're so stuck on college degrees. We're so stuck on six figures a year. We're so stuck on being 6 foot tall. We're so stuck on so many things that are irrelevant to the conversation instead of looking deeper and understanding who we are as a person. You have to understand who you are. Once you begin to find that out, then you begin to find your true purpose in life, then you be able to definitely get to the financial aspect of the conversation. So you will have to have at some point before you get with somebody financial stability. So you can't be living at home with your mom or living with somebody else and you're trying to have a girlfriend over here. If you are going to be getting into a relationship as a man, you should most definitely be financially stable. Now, ladies, that doesn't exclude you from the picture. Before you find yourself getting with the man, ladies, you have to be financially stable. We need to have financial stability on the men's side. We also have to have it on the woman's side. And I hadn't even started talking about the type of jobs that you have to have because I'm not getting into that. What I'm getting into is financial stability. Financial stability could be, as I always like to use in my examples, a manager at McDonald's or a manager at Burger King. The woman may be a cashier at a store or a hostess at somewhere. I don't know. Don't really care about what particular type of job she has. It's just the money that you're bringing in. Does it make your household stable? And when you put two stable incomes together, you double that. You double that and you make it work for you. It doesn't matter if both of you work at Walmart or both of you work in the C suite at some major corporation. It doesn't matter. What I'm asking you is how financially stable are you? If we can accomplish at least that aspect, then we can start getting into the emotional control and the life direction in which the relationship could go. And therefore, both the man and woman can then bounce ideas off of each other and help move and motivate each other to go about their career ambitions and their career goals and their purpose that they may have in life. And see, this is building with one another. But if you don't have a plan for yourself, you are going to become a burden to somebody else down the line, and you definitely don't want that. Now, say you got your financial stability going on. Now you're going to start getting into the dating market. We date so freely right now. Fellas, you're looking at the ladies and what her body type look like, and you're going directly after her. Ladies, you're looking at the kind of car that a man is driving, and you're going right after him. But you have to understand that when you're looking at this, that you are intentional 100% about who you are dating. And when you have the intention, the perfect intention is close to it on who you're going to date, you got to ask yourself, are you dating for fun? Are you dating for marriage, companionship, or are you just passing time? And once you begin to decide which direction that you're going to move is going to tell how serious you are with the person that you're going to be getting with. And so when we're looking at this timeline mindset, it's not rushed, but it's not indefinite. So, for example, you shouldn't be engaged 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10 years. You should be able to get with someone and know, I would say 6 months to maybe a year. I'm going to leave it at that and let you all debate that portion in the comments there. But when you got that mindset, you begin to start asking real questions early on. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? You find out what the person is interested in, what they're not interested in, what makes them tick, what kind of other mental issues that they probably may have or don't have. You looking into all this stuff. And once you begin to see how this works, you are getting this into the alignment check of that person. And these are the non-negotiables that are out there because we're always so quick to look in every other different part, but you have to understand what their values are. Do they value family? Do they value faith? Do they value a particular type of lifestyle? What is most important to them? What is their financial mindset like? One person may like to save, the other person may not like to save. One person may like to spend money, the other person may not like to spend money. And how we communicate with one another. We are terrible at communicating with one another. Go into a random store, you will see how we even talk amongst each other. But first, as men and women, if we cannot respect each other, how can we afford to be in a relationship with one another? So let's put this into a visual perspective. Ladies, the same way that you would treat your so called boss at work, the smiling and the cooperation, It's the same way that you should be given to your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, or whoever the case may be at the stage in your relationship. And yes, you can build on top of that. I'm not telling you to give wife standards to a boyfriend. What I'm saying is just showing the man that, hey, I'm willing to be with you. I am willing to submit to you. And I promise you, ladies, that when you are down that particular track in not only showing your true femininity, in my opinion, when a woman is around a true masculine man, her femininity is going to naturally shine. Her femininity is naturally going to come out, and she begins to build on that. And it's that it's building, that woman is naturally going to submit to that man. And submission, for some reason, in you all's head, I hear people relate that to slavery. And that is not the mental capacity that I'm trying to get you all to think in. I'm talking about the cooperability. Ladies, you all have more power than what you think you have, and you don't even know it. If as feminine as you could be towards the man that you are trying to so-called get, or you showing the man that you're with your true femininity, and you are on code with that, he will move mountains for you. There's nothing that you could not have that he won't try to go out there and work hard and get. Because a lot of you say that you want to be stay-at-home wives and all that stuff. Okay, I get it. Perfectly fine. But if that is the case, there are some true femininity, submission type attitudes that are going to have to be in return given back for that. Because what man wants to come home to a woman who is cooperable, argumentative, and all of the above? But ladies, you have a true superpower. Men love a very feminine woman. They just do. So as feminine as you are to your boss at work, your manager at work, if you exerted that same attitude towards the person you with, you probably wouldn't have to work for long. That man's gonna do everything he can to make sure that you're okay. Think about it. Look at your friends. Look at your non-black friends. Look at your white friends. Look at your friends of other ethnicities. And this is not to say that black women can't do this. They're not the only ones who have been down this track like this. There are white women out there that are not cooperative with their husbands. There are East Indian women who are not cooperative with their husbands. It comes in all different racial shapes and sizes. But any man on this planet, if he sees that the woman that he's with is feminine, he is going to do everything he can to make sure that she is okay. But the moment that she starts to have an attitude, he's going to walk away and want peace. And that is the alignment check that we have to have within ourselves in these relationships that we are in. And also, if that person desires to have children or not. Sometimes people wait too much later down the line to decide, hey, we've been together for years, but I don't want kids. And the man may want kids, or the man may not want kids and the woman want kids, vice versa. These kind of things happen. But attraction can start it, but alignment is what sustains it as you're going through this. And as you evolve, you're going to naturally grow people. I'm telling you that when you move into a building, you got to understand, are we going to be in this building stage, moving to a progressing aspect of our relationship? When we're going through this, are we having any kind of goals and mile markers that we can align and say, you know what, we are moving from this to this? If you start out in an apartment with the person that you're with, are you asking yourself, hey, I can see myself in a decent home with this person? I'm not talking about no 10,000 square foot home, people, or multi-million dollar home. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that the most average people would probably get. What person would not want to move further than where they are 5 years from now? So I would beg you all to ask the person that you're with, that you've been with, ladies, fellas, ask the ladies, ladies, ask the fellas. Y'all talk. Ask yourself, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years with me? Because if you still doing the same thing, it's one thing you living in an apartment, you say, you know what, we don't want a house. We just want to live in an apartment, save our money, don't want to have to worry about home maintenance, all this stuff. I get it, perfectly fine. But your plan, you shouldn't be in the same spot in your relationship 5 years from now. So at the time that you watch this video, ask the person that you're with, where we're going to be in like 5 years or from now. And having that clear mindset and mentality, are we improving or are we just existing in this relationship that we're in right now? And this is going to work. This is me giving you just some insight because we hear so much negative things that go on in the situations. And it's any other planning that we're doing right now. Are we planning for a living situation in the future? And how would that support each other's growth and development? So we have to redevelop these relationships. We have to recultivate all of this in order to make a difference. Because the stuff I'm seeing on social media is not stuff that I see just out in the general public in real life. But I promise you, fellas, ladies, their femininity naturally kicks on when they see a masculine man around. We need that. It is the man's nature to be masculine, it's the woman's nature to be feminine. If everybody would stay in their lane, the flow of traffic is going to flow so much more smoother. The reason why things are slowing down in relationships because everybody's trying to cross over into different lanes. You have women that are trying to exert what they so-called say masculine energy and being strong, independent, and you got men who are trying to be so feminine. You have men out here who are just soft. But if we can stay in our lanes in this relationship market to help move our relationships and our family that we so called want to move forward, we can move in a whole other different direction. And just to give you a little bit of insight, are you all saving money together? If you all decide to invest, are you doing that together? How are you moving this? When you're in this situation right now, it is a man's nature to be masculine. It is a woman's nature to be feminine. You all have to move in your lane. We have to stay in our lane. If we stay in our lane and move at the flow of traffic, everything will run so much smoother. The moment that we start trying to cross over and start doing what the opposite sex is doing, we're going to have a problem. We can't have women out here being too strong, too independent, and we can't have men out here being too feminine. We cannot have that. If you are looking to be in this relationship, this channel is about cultivating healthy relationships and creating that tapestry of extraordinary experience within our own household. And we need this. But I want you all to understand if there is consistent confusion, that's your answer. But if there is no progress, that's your answer. But if they avoid planning, that's your answer. And you do not need closure when the pattern is clear. Things are going to move so much different. But I want to be crystal clear. Men, you have to lead with direction. You have to lead with consistency. You have to lead with structure and vision. That is what we are supposed to do. The ladies out there, the women, let's be crystal clear about something. You choose based on direction and not emotion. It is the man's job to lead, it is the woman's job to follow. We cannot let society rewrite how this is supposed to go. This is not the case by any means. But we definitely got to make sure that our pattern out here is clear. So if you don't get anything else out of this, A relationship without a plan will always turn into confusion, and confusion is expensive because it will cost you. It will cost you time, it will cost you money, it will cost you resources, and also energy. And men, it will definitely cost you your peace. So as you begin to look at this, if there's no plan for the person that you with, don't fight for it, don't force it, step aside. So like, listen, subscribe to the channel. Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. I look forward to having another conversation with you all soon.